38. Too low.
You cheated.
Did I guess it?
So 38,171.
What? Look at me.
You cheated. You were Googling today before
No, I was not.
we hit record.
I was not.
Yeah. Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey.
I'm Holly.
Back there's Tucker.
Yep, that's me.
And we're in the new hybrid version of the 2025 Subaru Forester, even though this looks exactly like the one that we had last September. How has this been for us in over 600 miles of testing? And is the fuel economy really better? All that and more in the video. All right, Holly. Like I said just a moment ago, it's almost completely identical to the gas-powered version we had in September when we went to the truck rodeo. Now we've got the hybrid version, much more fuel efficient. We liked it before. What are your thoughts here with the 2025 Subaru Forester Premium Hybrid, starting with the exterior style?
Well, I think I said then, and I feel the same now. It doesn't look like Subarus of old.
No, it doesn't. And in fact, a first-gen Forester was behind me today. I had to give him a good thumbs up because it's lost some appeal as they've tried to garner mass appeal with this being their best-selling model.
But you kind of ruin, that identity that you have going a little bit, I think. So, I feel like if I was going to get a Subaru, I would want like a classic-looking Subaru, like their old body style more than this. This just looks like a regular SUV to me.
Some things that contribute to interior style, drivability, that have kind of been a hallmark of the Forester. Big windows, big tall windows all the way around. That continues, which makes for really good visibility out of it. But moving inside, what are your thoughts in here?
Yeah, I like the two-tone colors. I like that this is actually textured, not fake textured, and it's a nice material as well. It's just kind of hard plastic up here, but I think it makes up for it with the cream colored and different texture. Now this is a whole nother different texture. It's like a couch.
The seats have multiple
right there.
different colors and textures on them.
Yeah, and speaking of the seats, cloth seats, and I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
I like cloth seats.
You weren't mad back in September.
Yeah, I'm still not, but like sitting more like on a couch.
Yeah, it's just
than
comfy.
The leather seats are to me. I guess some people have leather couches. I prefer not leather couches, but I'm starting to feel that way a little bit about. Although some of the fake leather is softer,
which is what is wrapping the steering wheel here, the fake leather.
Yeah,
so
it's nice.
But I have put over 500 miles just myself on this vehicle going down to Austin and back, and I can say the seat's very comfortable. The seat bottom, like right where all my weight is a little on the firm side, but I mean,
well, I would say the back is a little firm too.
Big screen here, the 11.6-inch Starlink. It's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built into it. I've got everything turned off right now for reasons. But new for this one, fully digital gauge cluster. I know that's something you liked, the analog gauges of all the Subarus we've had up to this point.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I do prefer analog gauges.
Yeah.
But I do like watching. Well, I mean that it doesn't have to be digital though. I do like watching whether I'm charging or in eco mode or power mode.
Yeah. So informative, and it's good layout. It doesn't look cheesy or old. Nissan, hire the people from Subaru. Update your tech.
The infotainment center leaves a little to be desired.
Please elaborate. Please.
It is very. Every time I've driven it, of course, you're like, oh, tech always works for me.
Not today.
I haven't been able to navigate to my Apple CarPlay, and it's been laggy. So because I couldn't navigate to my Apple CarPlay, I used their map.
Yeah.
It was laggy.
Not great.
Basically find this useless unless you're just using.
I have not had Apple CarPlay issues until today. I was trying to film on my phone the CarPlay connection was making it laggy. I turned it off, and now it doesn't want to reconnect. I don't know what that is, but in my solo review, I show exactly what CarPlay is like to work. It works quite well. That's the wired
What is this loading? Because it never loads, whatever this is.
I think it is loading all of the content on your phone, but yeah, it's because we're plugged in and treating it like an iPod. So it's loading all the content, which takes a while. Here's something else we don't like. Gloss black. It's already got scratches. We've got just over 3,000 miles on this one. Already got scratches. Yeah. No memory seats over there for you. No. But you have a power seat. I have a manual seat.
Yeah.
We have heated seats, which we've said before, with cloth seats, it's like a warm hug. Mm-hmm. So Olaf would be happy.
Although we have not used it.
No, we have not. No, we have not. Thoughts on storage?
I think it's sufficient enough.
Yeah. You've done a lot of driving in this one, around town. But we've got a Qi wireless charger up here. It works-ish.
I haven't even tried that.
I like that you can turn it off, though, and you can put other things there and not have to worry about it getting hot.
I do like that.
So
that's a nice feature.
More
versatility.
Do that. Tucker, how is your space back there? Are you good?
Yeah.
What do you think we need to talk about now?
Putting in my child safety seat.
And then I'll show you some storage options back in the back. Before we bring in Tucker's Graco extended fit child safety seat that he has ridden in his entire life, practically, I do want to talk about the back seat for adults because there is quite a bit of space here. Subaru prides themselves on having 8.7 inches of ground clearance with a good step-in height, and I'd say that is absolutely applicable. And when you do, you've got a lot of nice stuff back here. The door panels mimic what is up front. It's not just a plain black plastic door panel, which I like. You can see we have 2 tiers of storage here on the backs of the front seat, so your general map pocket. And then I wanted to show you with a couple of props, a tablet and phone slot right there. So yes, all your Apple electronics can ride along with you quite well, and you can charge them up via a USB-A or USB-C power point. You do have a couple of air vents on the back of the center console, which is a very nice touch. And then the overall design still mimics what we have up front, multiple colors and textures. All the blue accent stitching is very nice. We have a center headrest here in the middle. I know a lot of y'all have complained on our General Motors vehicles video reviews how most of their center seats don't have a headrest, but Subaru does. Here we have some cup holders with rubberized grippers down below and around the side, though they are a bit shallow. I prefer these to the style of what is up front. Very nice seat comfort right there. And then we have our third seat belt that does drop down from the ceiling for the center, but yes, plenty of legroom for me back here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my electronics out of the way because we are gonna get Tucker's child seat and see what it's like in its rear facing format. Keep in mind, this is the same child safety seat he did ride in when he was rear facing. And would you look at that? I do not need to move the front seat forward at all. It is a manually adjusting front seat here in this premium trim, but look, I've just got tons of space. I'm very comfortable in this Subaru Forester. It is a great family vehicle, whether you're just getting started or you've got grown kids back here in the back. So I like that a lot. Moving it around and putting it in its upright format, we are gonna go ahead and drop our top tether down beneath our headrest. And I do want to call out, it is a 60/40, but the 60% is here on the passenger side. We do have lower latch points that just kind of stick out here in the seat back. There are 5. There is one here in the center. So if you are putting a child seat in the center of the vehicle, you're probably going to be borrowing this one for a center mounted child seat. Then we can tighten it down, secure it into place, and we're gonna have to go around to the back to actually get that top tether in. One thing I do want to show off, Tucker was very proud when he noticed it, some pet paw prints. He's been calling them kitty paw prints because we do have a brother and sister from a litter of cats. Moving to the back of the vehicle, you can see you get that hybrid badge on the tailgate. Let's see if I can actually get the kick to open to work. Yep, there we go. Kick to open, hands-free lift gate. And then a good 27.5 cubic feet of storage space back here. As we get a helicopter passing over, my apologies there, but we have the all-weather floor mats, which gives us an all-weather cargo mat back here, which I like. We have the retractable cargo shade, which I like, but because of its placement so far away from the seats, you get this little additional panel here that you just kind of have to wedge into place. Very interesting design, but we are going to move that out of the way to pull in Tucker's child safety seat and show you exactly what installing that looks like. So very easy to reach in over the back bumper and tighten this down. Because we have cloth seats, I'm not worried about it, but if you had the optional leather seats, there isn't any firm corner back here to keep you from doing damage to the seating material. Again, really only a concern if you've got the StarTex or the leather seats there, but lots of good cargo space back here. The last time we had a Forester in the fall, we loaded it down with stuff, and yes, plenty of room back here, but less room overall than what you get in the non-hybrid, because under the false load floor here, you can see we do have a little bit of additional storage in this foam panel here, but all your hybrid batteries reside where your spare tire would be. So a little bit less storage going on overall, but you can see we get a little there, a little shelf right here with, I guess, a cup holder right there, some bag hooks, power bag hooks over here. And as we turn around and look up, we get compass Easter egg here, and I really do like these lights that work very well if you are in a camping situation, which a lot of Forester owners do. And then you have a button right there to bring it all down to a close. All right, so plenty of room in the back for rear-facing car seats without having to move this seat. Huge win for families. We've been in bigger vehicles where I'm like sitting in the dash for a rear-facing car seat, so that's a big win. Plenty of storage in the back. Last time we had one in September, I mean, we loaded this thing down with drinks and beverages.
Yeah,
this thing is
loaded.
packed.
Yeah.
And you could get tons of stuff in here.
In it? Yes, you could.
Yep.
And it handled everything really well.
Yep. Speaking of handling, what has it been like driving this hybrid around town as far as power?
I really enjoyed driving it.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably doesn't have as much power as some other SUVs. However, I haven't been driving it for power. I've been driving it very economically because I like to see myself charging anything.
Yes, this has the same 2.5 liter boxer engine under the hood, but it's got 2 electric motors in it, which you can drive around at low speeds in EV mode, which helps boost the fuel economy up to 35 in the city, which is considerably more than what we're getting in the gas-only version. Again, you've got that charge meter over there. That's about the only way you could tell when the engine turns off or back on, because
You can't really tell.
yeah, you've always got compressed air, AC coming through, which is one of your big complaints about the auto start stop on non-hybrids. So
Yeah.
have you ever felt like you've been wanting for power and not had it, whether transmission or just it's too slow?
No, but I've really only been bopping around town.
Yeah. I've done highway driving. It's a fine highway cruiser. No, like you said, it's not the fastest or most powerful, but I mean, it got the job done.
And the steering wheel, I'll say this too, when I first couple of times I drove it, it does feel a little loosey-goosey.
Okay.
A little kind of floaty, you know. But now that I've driven it a lot more times since then, I've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
I noticed that. But I did make that note in my head when I first hopped in that it is a little loose.
Okay. Not sports car tight steering.
Not sports cars.
But as we turn on the historic brick streets of downtown Tyler, Texas, we can talk about how the ride is. Take a look back at Tucker's wobbly head.
How does it, is it wobbling?
Just a little.
Just a little bit. What are your thoughts, Holly?
I think it's pretty smooth. Here's the big one. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yep. We've got 18-inch wheels with pretty good sidewall on the tires, so helping absorb some of the bumps and the brick pavement underneath us. We're getting a little reverb noise in here, but I mean, It's
And
a brick,
yeah.
brick paved road.
Yeah.
So
It's comparable to other SUVs, I would say.
yeah, it's not floaty, which we've been in some vehicles that float over this in a not perfect kind of way, and it's not harsh either. I think it's good. Good, just good. Now the real question. So we've got decent power, decent cruising, decent ride and handling. Was a loosey-goosey steering, but you got used to it really quickly. This being the hybrid. Fuel economy. I went back and I watched our video of the gas-only version of it, and we hit spot on the combined fuel economy number of 29 mpg. This one gets 35 city, 34 highway, 35 combined. I've done some similar driving in this. That one I drove from Decatur, Texas back. This I drove to Austin, Texas and back. So we've put a lot of miles on Subaru Foresters in the past few months. And I will go ahead and say, this is more tuned to city driving, getting better fuel economy, because you can go in EV mode at low speeds. You're cruising through traffic, you're just using the engine less. I can say with 100% certainty, it is not tuned for efficiency at Texas highway speeds. I went around Austin. What's the highest posted speed limit around
85.
Austin? Yeah. So you can go fast in this, which is a detriment to fuel economy. All that to say, in 621.9 miles, we are averaging 30 mpg. So we are not quite hitting that 34, 35 mpg mark, but again, Texas highway speed. So depending on how you drive your vehicle, and if you're in the city more, I think you would get more closely related to those Windows numbers. Yeah,
I would definitely beat
definitely would.
those numbers.
You definitely would. You always do. So that brings us to the Lineartronic. I don't actually have it. Subaru never gives it to us. They give us a spec sheet. But what say you on the price of this one? I will say is the most affordable version of the hybrid. So it's the premium model, which is the base trim, so to speak, of the hybrid. You could get leather seats with suede inserts, things like that. It gets much nicer than this. But, I mean, this one's not poorly equipped either. It's very nice.
38. Too low.
You cheated.
Did I guess it?
So, as spec'd with delivery and destination, this one really is right at 38.
What?
The notes here say 36, but that's not entirely accurate. I did some research online, and 38,171.
Look at me.
You cheated. You were Googling today before
No, I was not.
we hit record.
I was not.
Yeah. So now knowing that, what are your thoughts?
Well, we have always said that our next vehicle is going to be no less than a hybrid.
Yeah.
Just because fuel efficiency, that's the way of the world is kind of going.
RAV4 is going completely hybrid for 2026.
Like it or hate it. It just is. And it makes a lot of sense for us. So if you're wanting to get into a hybrid, we've started seeing, when hybrids first came out, they were really expensive. We've started seeing those numbers start coming back down. And if you're wanting to get into a hybrid, this may be a good choice.
Well, on that note, if you want to see more from Holly, you can find her on Facebook and Instagram at Female Consumer. You can find all things GT Garage Talk at GT Garage Talk, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, all at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. Be sure and check out Tucker's YouTube channel at Tucker's Talk. But as for us in the 2025 Subaru Forester Premium Hybrid, until next time, Gearheads.
Bye.